Thomas Bruner. In studio is cancer survivor Neeley Wells. Neely, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Good to have you both here. And let's start with you, Neely. Like a lot of us, and we were kind of shocked by the controversy about Komen and kind of defunding Planned Parenthood. How did you react to that initially?
I think maybe I had a little grief initially. It took me about 5 minutes to make a phone call to the Portland affiliate, and I spoke to both Christina and Devin, and I made it pretty clear that I was feeling a lot of loss because if what happened with Nationals stuck, then I wasn't going to be able to support Komen anymore, and that hurt and made me pretty furious. But I think it was within days that all that turned around because first the Oregon affiliate renounced the national decision, and I had more conversations with the locals and knew that it was all going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. And Thomas, you were in studio with us 2-3 weeks ago, and you're back in Portland and you're new to Komen. Your reaction was kind of the same to that, right?
Oh yeah, sure. I was miffed.
Mm-hmm.
And I stood up publicly and said I was miffed at the time. So I'll tell you, though, like Neely said, I was really proud that in Oregon and Southwest Washington, this affiliate stood up and spoke out. And It was part of the conversation that helped get this policy changed within days.
Right.
And to give National Komen some credit, they did the right thing, and within days they took it all back and they restored the funding. And the president of Planned Parenthood USA has said we've moved on, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
and so I'm moving on too.
And we're into the mission. And I just want to say to those who have marched with me for years, who were also put out by this, and some of you have come back, rejoined the team. Mark, Bruce, just a couple names that come to mind. I thank you very much for doing it, because what we have here is a mission that goes on and is just as important, far more important than any the snafu that was corrected, as bad as that snafu was. And Neely, tell us your story. You're a cancer survivor.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer in the spring of 2000. I had a daughter who was 10 months old at the time. And my prognosis was a couple of weeks.
This is what year, Neely?
2000.
Wow.
Long time ago. And the first fall after I had been diagnosed, I was eating at Mother's Bistro brunch. And this swarm of people in pink walked past. And that was my first awareness ever of the race for the cure. And I knew that it was something for me to look out for the next year. And I formed a team the next year and have ever since. And it's been an amazing time for me to form community and give back to my community.
So we're 12 and a half years after that diagnosis.
We are.
And you're looking good.
Thanks.
And how big is your team? I don't, we got competition here. We got a team, but tell us about your team.
I think
Neely.
it's about 85 or 87 people.
Look at Paul's going, you got us beat. And by the way, Paul always comes up with an excuse not to be at Komen, and he's on vacation this year. So
I always pay my money, but I don't show up.
Wherever you are, Paul.
Yeah.
You can also sleep in for the cure if you want.
Paul's very good at that.
Send a check anyway.
Okay, and again, I remind you, 620kpoj.com. Go to the morning show page, and you'll see the Komen link there. Just click on it and give. What have you, Neely? What have been the most important things for you as a cancer survivor? Just tick off a few of them. How Komen supports you.
Well, I think the single most important thing is that I know that there are people like me living similar lives. And I have access to them, and I have questions and resources, and also that I can be of aid to them.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the fellowship is the camaraderie must be helpful.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like I said, my daughter was a baby when she was diagnosed, and for her to grow up walking in that walk and seeing other kids and other families walking in that walk has definitely been pivotal for her. And I didn't need any mammograms. It was actually too late for me at that point, but I've referred numerous friends to the program.
You know, Neely and Thomas, this will, I think, be my 6th walk. And, these events, when sitting behind a microphone in the studio, you can give all the statistics. When you get out there and see that many people giving up a day, happily giving up a day to walk together for a common cause, it's goosebump time.
You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you, it's absolutely amazing. And part of what the race is about is honoring the people that we've lost,
right?
And remembering them and celebrating their lives and what they meant to us. Honoring the people that are surviving and thriving and moving ahead. And reminding each other and this entire state and region that this is a huge issue, a huge need. We've made progress, but we have so much more to do. So it's also a way to re-energize ourselves and resolve and recommit to move ahead. 61 women every week are diagnosed with breast cancer in Oregon and Southwest Washington alone. And every week, 11 women die here at home in Oregon and Southwest Washington.
Wow.
So there is lots more to do, and that's why we need everybody who has not already registered to register today, keep raising money, and show up on September 16th.
Neely, Thomas, I always think of this event as a continuum, as you described. We're remembering those of the past. We're with those who have cancer now, and we're working hard to end this disease for the future. And I love history, and politics is the same for me. We have a history in this country and the world we have to understand that impacts how we live today and molds our view of how we're going to mold the future. And this race is very much like that. And Neely, thanks for coming in. Thanks for telling your story. And we'll see your team out there. We're not going to have 83. But we're going to be with you, and it's not the size, it's the heart, the size of the heart. So I want to thank my team members again and remind everyone who's listening, 620kpoj.com, what $5, $10, $25, $100, whatever you can give to this important cause. The Komen link is on the morning page at 620kpoj.com. You don't have to show up. As Thomas said, you can sleep in. You can pull a Paul Pimentel, which is now in the parlance, and you can still help the cause. Thomas Bruner, Neeley Wells, thank you for coming in. It's always a pleasure to see people who join in this cause with full hearts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
620kpoj.com, mornings page, go to Komen. Thank you, guys. We'll see you out there. And, that gives me a goal now to get up to at least 82.5.
85.
She's got 85? She just added a couple more. How can you beat that? Carl Wolfson here at 7:45 for Zero Res at Zero Res Portland.